Hey, it's Scott. Video number 2. Here we go. Jumping right into the next piece, which would be fasting. Fasting with Jesus or not fasting with Jesus. Which is it? We finished up yesterday, or this last podcast with Jesus Eats with Sinners. We found out that Matthew is being called into the picture. His name is also Levi, not to be confused, because Matthew calls himself Matthew. Mark calls Matthew Levi. So go figure. We're going to jump right into the text and see what God is showing us in this cast number 2. Okay? One day the disciples of John the Baptist came to Jesus and asked him, "Why don't your disciples fast like we do and the Pharisees do?" Jesus replied, "Do wedding guests mourn while celebrating with the groom? Of course not. But someday the groom will be taken away from them, and then they will fast. Besides, who would patch old clothing with new cloth? For the new patch would shrink and rip away from the old cloth, leaving an even bigger tear. And no one puts new wine into old wineskins, for the old wineskins would burst from the pressure, spilling the wine and ruining the skins. New wine is stored in new wineskins so that both are preserved." First of all, I love this wineskin piece because this is more proof, I believe, to why Jesus, when he turned water into wine at the wedding and he put it in clay pots, I believe this is a good resemblance into it was new wine that was not yet fermented, because had he put it in, it would have needed to ferment in the process of the wine skin. He put it into clay pots. It was brand new, and it was sweet, special, and unfermented. Just think that's the proof. Also, I love this piece too that Jesus talks about the wedding guest. Mark says, "Do wedding guests fast while celebrating with their groom? Of course not. They can't fast while the groom is with them, but someday the groom will be taken away from them." This is just a good example. You wouldn't go to a wedding mourning on purpose. This is not a sad day where you're not losing a son or a daughter. You're gaining a son-in-law or a daughter-in-law. You're going to celebrate, and boo-hoo you if you go to a wedding for the wrong reasons. It is a celebration, and so should a funeral be. A funeral should be a celebration of someone's life. Yes, you lost somebody, but what are you celebrating? You're celebrating the new life of an individual who's now with Jesus. And so what is he saying all this for? Because Jesus did not teach his disciples to fast yet. That's coming in a later date, and that's coming at a later time, and they're not fasting yet. They're hanging out with Jesus. They're eating. Their plates are full. They're going to different places. So they're not going to show up at Matthew's house and fast. They're going to go to a place and they're going to hang out. They're going to have fellowship, which is called koinonia. Koinonia. Koinoia. So Koinonia. Koinonia. Fellowship with food with God. Okay, so that's what they're doing. Luke brings it up as well. I don't think Luke says much different. Almost the exact same thing. It's almost like it's word for word, honestly. They're very, very parallel. So that's all I have for you today. It's podcast number 2. Hope you're enjoying them. Let me know what you see or what you hear via text back to me so I know that these are coming through fine, okay? God bless you. Keeping them under 5 minutes.